What's going on, guys? It's me, Dreamliner Fan 2016 here, and today we have another model plane review for you guys. Today I'll be reviewing the Phoenix Models 1/400 scale Singapore Airlines Boeing 787-10 and the 1787 Dreamliner sticker. This is a very interesting model that I have in my collection, and I have never reviewed a Singapore Airlines model, and this is my only Singapore Airlines model I have in my collection, so I'm just super excited to review this model for you guys. And yeah, it's a Phoenix 787-10. I don't think I never done like a Phoenix model review before, so I'm just super excited to review this model for you guys. So with that being said, you know the drill at this point. Let's start off with the box of the model itself. Okay, so here's the box of the Singapore 787-10. Looking absolutely very nice, and yeah, Phoenix Models does an amazing job on their box designs, but it's not really liking the lines of NGs, but I think this art looks very nice as well. So you got the Boeing 787-10 tiles right there, you got the CGI image of the aircraft, you got a nice background with like a sunset with like a wheat field, I'm guessing. I'm not sure if that's there in Singapore, but it looks very cool right there, as you can see. You got some various like almost like a light brownish swoops right there, look very nice. 1/400 scale, you got the Singapore Airlines tiles right there, you got the 1787 Dreamliner tiles as well, and you got the aircraft registration, which is United Victor, Sierra Charlie Papa, excuse me. Moving on to the side, so you got one side, you got your warning hazards right there. The item number of this model is 04331. Here's the 787-10 right there, that's one side. You got the Boeing 787-10 tiles on the top, and of course the 1787 Dreamliner right there. And then you got a similar side on this side right there. And moving on to the back, you got various like landmarks. You can see like one of the various landmarks of Singapore, and you can see the city skyline looking very nice. So and yeah, Phoenix is known for doing these like very nice box arts where they add like a city skyline to like this airline. So you got the Boeing 787-10 tiles right there. Of course, everything is pretty much the same, but you got the Singapore skyline right there and one of their landmarks. I have not visited Singapore, but I would love to. Hopefully when I fly with United or Singapore Airlines in the future. But regardless enough, I'm loving this box, and overall, Phoenix Models did a wonderful job on this box art right here. And yeah, looking very nice. So now let's move on to the model itself. So with that being said, let's review the model. And here is the beautiful 787-10 from Singapore Airlines, looking absolutely very nice in Phoenix's 787 mold. So yeah, a very nice model right here. And overall, I think Phoenix Models did an okay job. Well, not saying okay, I think they did a good job on their 787 mold. And yeah, just super excited to review their Phoenix mold for you guys. So with that being said, let's get into that. So starting with the front, you got the cockpit windows of the aircraft right there. And then you got the nose shape of the aircraft. Honestly, I think it looks okay for what a Phoenix mold looks like. So yeah, you got like the slants right there, the area where it slants, and then you got the radome. I think Phoenix Models did a good job on it. It's not really as perfect, but it does get the job done. You got your nose landing gear and nose landing gear door right there. Containing part of the registration, as you can see, Charlie Papa. You got the Star Alliance logo right there, and then you got the 1787 Dreamliner tiles right there. A very special milestone for the 787 program, as this was delivered to Singapore Airlines, and it marked the 1787 Dreamliner ever produced. So what a huge milestone for the 787 program. You got your L1 boarding door right there, and then this is where the Singapore livery starts, so it has like some form of cheat line. So you got like a navy blue cheat line, you got a gold cheat line right there, and then that's like an orange cheat line, and then you got the gold bottom cheat line right there. I think Singapore's livery looks very nice, and yeah, they did a great job on this livery right here, and Phoenix Models did a fantastic job on replicating the livery in 1/400 scale. You got the Singapore Airlines right there, Singapore Airlines tiles right there, along with the Singapore flag. And then you got the L2 boarding door right there. There's your Wi-Fi dome and your top antenna right there, looking very nice. Here's your, I'm thinking these are these are GENX engines, or maybe they might be Trent 1000s. I will have to look it up when I look at the background information of this aircraft. But I'm guessing these are these are GENX engines right there. And yeah, they do have proper ground clearance, like clearance of the ground. So as you can see, I think Phoenix Models did a great job on the engine sides right there. And you also got some exhaust details as well, and chevron tooth details. Looking very nice. And moving on to the middle, you got your main landing gear right there. And here's the wing. Unfortunately, there's some kind of like form of wing flex. So as you can see, this wing has like various wing flex. So you can see here, let me just position it into the front. So as you can see, yeah, you can see like the front that it has like wing flex, and honestly it should not be like that, but it is what it is. And yeah, that's how Phoenix creates their 787 wing molds. But I do want to take a look at the engine fan blade detail, because I think Phoenix Models did a great job on the fan blade details of the 787. It looks very nice, and yeah, really nice that NG was able to, not NG, Phoenix. I've been always thinking of NG because I have a bunch of NGs, but I'm reviewing a Phoenix model. So yeah, while that's kind of like a QC problem right there, it is what it is, and I can't complain too much right there. Also, I do want to mention another problem with this model. So let me go through the wing details. So as you can see, some nice wing details. You got the ground spoilers right there and the flight spoilers, and then you got the flap track fairings right there. And what I do like about them, it has like a red tip. So great work, Phoenix Models, on adding those red tips on the flap track fairings right there. There's your rake wingtip, looking very nice. You can see all the beacon lights and the strobe lights right there. You also got your engine pylon. You got some nice slat details and flap details, and then you can slightly see the coastal field frost. And then you can see a landing light right there. Now, I think I mentioned about a problem with this model, but unfortunately, one of the wings are loose. So I'm thinking it's the starboard wing, or maybe it was the port wing. Let me check. Okay, it was not that one, so this wing is good. But eventually, when I unboxed this model, one of the wings was loose, and I didn't have much time to like fix it, because like I think before, like me when I unboxed this model before, it was slightly wiggling, but I don't want to like take it out. But I may consider trying to repair that model. But yeah, while the QC problem was unfortunate, at least the model did turn out good in proper condition. Here is the L3 door right there, looking very interesting right there, and yeah, well printed as well. Moving on to the back carrier of the aircraft, you got your bottom antenna right there. There's your L4 door, looking very similar to all the doors on the left side. Here's your, I'm guessing this is like a, maybe this is like a bulk compartment right there. So this is kind of like a bulk for like extra bags that need to be placed in there. And then of course you got the registration, Niner Victor, Sierra Charlie Papa. And then you got your dual antennas right there. Moving on to the empennage area of the aircraft, you got your APU, the 787, looking very nice. And then you also got your horizontal stabilizers and the Singapore Airlines tail. And I think Phoenix Models did a wonderful job on the printing of that logo right there, as well as that very nice orange stripe right there. So love to see it from Phoenix Models, and they did a great job. So yeah, so let's talk about the front. So I think I already mentioned this, but the port wing has some wing flex, so it is what it is. But when I look at the starboard wing, it doesn't have much wing flex, but you can still see the wing flex over there. And yeah, I think the starboard winglet just looks a lot worse, honestly. Once again, it is what it is. While I kind of don't complain too much about molds, but once again, it gets the job done. Moving on to the starboard section of the aircraft, so of course you got your R doors right there, looking very nice. You got your forward cargo bin, and then moving on to the aft area, you got your aft cargo bin right there. Moving on to a top view of this aircraft, so let me just position her. So here's the top view of the aircraft, looking very nice with all the details. What I do like is that the 3D beacon light is molded in, and you can see like a 3D dot right there. It's not really exactly a 3D dot like a 3D beacon light, but it's slightly like a 3D beacon light almost. It's just, they just like painted a dot on like the 3D beacon light. What I also do like is there's like, I'm guessing these are like warning signs, I'm guessing. So you can see this is like one of the warning signs, and I'm guessing, wait, I was just curious if I could see that if the Wi-Fi dome is molded in, but it's not, unfortunately. But still looks nice, and I can't complain too much right there. But I do like this extra details and all like the various warning hazards right there. So great work, Phoenix Models, on that. Moving on to the bottom section of the aircraft, so here it is right there. Not much on detail, but I also like that they molded in the air intakes. While it's not really like the best representation in the world, at least it's still representable. You got your bottom beacon light right there, another 3D extra molded in, and of course you got the aircraft registration, Niner Victor, Sierra Charlie Papa, on the port wing. Yeah, so they always put the registration on the port wing for international planes. And yeah, here is the other extra areas at the back. Moving on to the front section, you can see the wing flex more clearly. I think the starboard wing is slightly okay, but I think the port wing doesn't really look as great because of the high amount of wing flex on that wing. And then moving on to the starboard section of the aircraft, straight horizontal stabilizers, which I'm quite very surprised about on Phoenix models. So yeah, you can see straight horizontal stabilizers right there, and I can't complain too much. So I'm thinking this could be the wing that's loose. Yes, this is the one that's loose. Yeah, I would like to wiggle it out. It's not exactly coming out actually, so as you can see, there's that tug. I don't want to pull it out right away or pull it too hard, but at least it's not way too loose. That's one thing I can like say. It's not loose, but when I pull it a little bit too hard, I don't want to pull it very too hard, otherwise it's just gonna come off like just slightly like this. But if it's way too loose, then I just like immediately pull the wing off. But quite unfortunate that's the case, but the good news is at least the model isn't really as broken. Not sure there's like an extra paint chip right there, but it's kind of hardly recognizable. But under that, I will say that the model is still intact. But yeah, I think Phoenix models still, I'm not sure if they improved their quality control as of late, but they've been using like very old molds that they haven't even updated as of late. But I can't complain too much right there. I cannot complain too much. It is what it is. And yeah, at least the model still looks very nice for my collection. And yeah, really nice to have a Singapore Airlines model in my collection. I may consider getting another one in the future, but not now. That's all I can say. But regardless enough, I'm really glad to have this model in my collection, and a very special 787 model because it is the 1787 delivered. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this model in general, but I'm not done yet. But we're gonna get into like the description of this registration of this aircraft right there. So with that being said, let's get into the background information of this aircraft. Alright, let's get into the background information of the 1787 ever delivered from Boeing to Singapore Airlines, registered Niner Victor Sierra Charlie Papa. So let's get started with a review on planespies.net. So as you can see, the manufacturer's serial number is 60266, line number is 1000. So once again, very special aircraft for the Dreamliner, as this is the 1787 ever produced, and the aircraft age is 3.8 years. The Boeing 787-10, and the production site is in Charleston, South Carolina, in the Boeing plant right there. Airframe status says that it is active, and this was last updated on December 23rd, 2023. And yeah, as you can see, it was delivered back in October 2023, and Remark says that it is the 1787 Dreamliner sticker. It was ferried from Charleston to Nagoya in Japan, and then Singapore Changi from October 28th to 29th October 2023 on delivery. So very nice right there. And of course, okay, so it actually operates two Rolls-Royce Trent 1000 engines. So do apologize if I kind of made a mistake on the review of the model, if it was like a GEnx, but they were actually Trent 1000 engines, not GEnx engines. So it is what it is. But yeah, there's some different engine placements for the 787s. That's why I kind of get confused, because they almost look the same, but it's just different engine types for some airlines. Now I move on to like airfleets.net to look at some more information. So everything's pretty much the same. The first flight date of this aircraft was back in April 3rd of 2020. So somewhere around 2020 is when this aircraft rolled out of the production site and had its first flight. So it was like it had its first flight back in April of 2020, as I mentioned. However, because of like what's going on with the aviation industry during the pandemic, and kind of like along with recovery time for international flights to come back, this aircraft had to stay in Charleston for like a while, do a couple of test flights before it was delivered to Singapore Airlines last year in October 2023. So this aircraft, it's been sitting there, but yet again, this aircraft is almost like old. So it was 3 years old upon delivery. So yeah, but it's quite reasonable during like the aviation industry around that time. And once again, she was delivered on October 28th of 2023. And the information said that it is correct. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for all the review of this model. So yeah, a very nice model from Phoenix Models. And yeah, I'm really glad to have this special 787 in my collection. So it looks very nice. And yeah, Phoenix's 787 mold, I think it still looks nice. And I'm really glad to have well, I actually have two Phoenix 787s in my collection, mainly Dash 10s, but I'm glad to have this model in particular in my collection. So yeah, that is it for today's video, so without being said, let's get into the conclusion portion of this video. So this model right here looks absolutely gorgeous, and once again, Phoenix Models did a great job on their 787 mold right here. I just do wish they updated their molds because, like, once again, they've been using like very old molds that haven't been updated ever since they started production out of this mold. And yeah, I think the 787-10 is one of them. Not sure if they got an update, but yet again, I don't think it had. But regardless enough, I'm really glad to have this model in my collection, and Singapore Airlines, they are a very interesting airline to my international fleet. I'm hoping I can try to get the Singapore 777 in the Star Alliance livery from Aviation 400 in the future, because like that's another addition I do want to add, because like I do want to build up my Asian collection, my Asian model plane collection, especially with some, what is that? Oh yeah, some exotic airlines, so like airlines outside of the US. More in particular. So Singapore Airlines is one of them, although they bring their A350s to SFO. I haven't seen much of their 787-10s, I only see them in Manila. I haven't seen this aircraft in particular, but hopefully I can. But regardless enough, I'm really glad to have this model in my collection, and it's a perfect addition to my Asian model plane collection. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and turn on that post notification bell so you won't miss a video like this anytime soon. And if you want to see more of my model plane reviews and model plane content, then you can click on that playlist and you can check out all my model plane content from there. So yeah, I got a lot of videos, so hope you guys enjoyed those videos that I posted. So that's it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Anyways, good night.